Hello, today we're having wildlife veterinarian Gianmarco BETTONİ. Welcome to our video.
Thanks a lot, Mehmet, for having me.
Yeah. Could you introduce yourself for us?
Absolutely. So, as Mehmet said, my name is Gianmarco BETTONİ. I'm a veterinarian from Costa Rica. Just finished vet school 2 years ago and did my master's degree in One Health and Zoonosis in Spain. I finished vet school in Costa Rica, and since I've been in school, I got involved in wildlife medicine and research in a broad range of species, marine animals and terrestrial animals. I had this opportunity to work in different continents, including Europe, Africa, and Americas. And I'm currently working as a wildlife veterinarian for a project in Costa Rica and a project in Brazil. And I'm really excited to be here and hopefully answer the questions and doubts that you might have.
If you're ready, we can start with questions.
Good, sounds good. I'm ready.
Is it hard to become a wildlife veterinarian?
Yes, nice question. It is hard. I'm not gonna say that it's easy. Specifically because it's a really specific and closed area in the terms that there's opportunities, but there is not as much as, for example, in cats or dogs.
Yes.
Where you have this high demand. It's more restricted, but I think to get in, as I said, the best thing is to start exploring ideas, start getting ideas out in the field. Contact, if your country, for example, doesn't have a major veterinarian working with wildlife, you can start off the country, perhaps going abroad for a master's degree, a PhD, and this will give you the tools and the training to go back to your country if you want to go back to your country or your local community and work with wildlife. So if this is not a thing that happens on your country, which happens a lot, some countries don't have big opportunities for this area, although they have wildlife, plenty of wildlife. The best thing to do is perhaps go outside, do internships, do training, do courses, and get in touch with the master's degree, PhD, professors to get in, and then go back and take all the ideas that you trained and then you prepared for to your country. So yeah, I think it's hard, it's challenging, but I think if you persist and you have to be really disciplined as well, really disciplined, and have to work really hard to get into the area, and just be really proactive. It also has some kind of a luck aspect, but I think the luck aspect, you make it yourself. If you work through that road to work with wildlife, you try hard. For example, I think this is a step to getting closer. You already have my contact, for example, and any doubt, any comment that you have, or if you want to come train with us, we will have you in account now, and you can come with us. And now you have an opportunity, now you have a contact, and it's just like that. You make your own luck, kind of. So I think that's how it works in wildlife.
Okay. What led you to become a veterinarian, and why did you choose wildlife medicine?
So actually, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I wanted to work with wildlife. I knew from day one that I wanted to get involved with wildlife. So that was my main goal. Although I knew it was kind of difficult because the most common thing, I think, worldwide, it's to work with domestic species. But then I moved on into wildlife. I started to get myself involved. I choose wildlife. It's specifically because it's it's always, you always have a new thing. You always have new stuff coming up. It's really unpredictable, and honestly, I like that kind of nature of having a job. That it's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. It can be challenging, but it's really nice. And the fact of having wildlife species, let it be a huge rhino or just a small rodent or a small amphibian, is just great and is really exciting. And also, I think the most important reason I got into wildlife is because they need help, lots of help. We know nowadays wildlife species are having lots of trouble. The environment is not doing really good as of now. And yeah, I think we need to take action, and I wanted to, to be part of this and help to contributing into conservation medicine.
What attributes and skills do you recommend to work in wildlife medicine?
And I think the first attribute to have is flexibility, in terms of you will get opportunities in many parts of the world. There's opportunities, but you have to be really flexible in moving, working with different people from different cultures that have different customs and different things in their lifestyle that maybe perhaps you're not used to. I think I acquired this flexibility to working with wildlife because I had I've been lucky enough to travel some countries in the world, not all of them, but where I have to, adapt to different cultures and different methodologies of working. And it's really nice because it gives you this tool, which is really, really important if you want to work with wildlife. You get animals all over the world, from Alaska to the Antarctica to Oceania to Asia. Everywhere you get this wildlife, and if you want to have these opportunities, you have to be really flexible and be open to accept these offers. So if perhaps you're from, in that case, I'm from Costa Rica, and have an opportunity to work, I don't know, in Oceania, I'm willing to take it, and I'm willing to adapt. So I think that's a really important attribute, and it's really nice once you embrace it, because you see the world differently. I think as well, skills that you have to have on your list is having a big scientific background. Not background per se, more like a scientific way of thinking that allows you to have critical analysis of things. So if you work in the field, for example, especially with wildlife, animals are really unpredictable. So if you think that this is going to happen on the field, it doesn't happen usually. It's really, 1 + 1 is not 2 in this equation in wildlife. You get plenty of answers, and you just have to work with them, accept them, and have that analysis of things that, okay, if I do this, it's better for this animal in this specific situation. So critical thinking and scientific thinking, it's really important. Always trying to acquire new knowledge through courses, let's say online, presential, acquire experience and read as much as possible. It's really good. Getting involved with professors that work in wildlife in university, it's also a great idea to do. Even if it's for free for the first years, it's gonna add up. I started like that. I started, working for free, and then it gives results, and it gives you experience, it gives you knowledge. Then when you get out of school as a young vet, and it definitely helps you get out into the world and have some weapons to tackle situations and things.
Okay, next question. Is it dangerous to become a wildlife veterinarian, and how do you protect yourself?
Nice question. Yeah, this is a nice question. Really specific. So yeah, it depends on what you work. So if you work with, if you are willing to work, for example, in social complicated countries where conservation it's being affected, it can be really dangerous in terms of social security. I know some veterinarians that are working on socially unstable countries, and it can be really dangerous in those terms. And also you have the wildlife aspect, where you can get bitten by a snake, a venomous snake.
They're unpredictable.
Or get bitten by a big cat, or stung by an animal, get a disease as well. That's why we always try to have protocols, security protocols and safety protocols on the field, to avoid as much as possible getting, bitten by an animal, scratched by an animal, or, getting infected by a virus, fungi, whatever comes with it, as much as possible. It's just impossible to have a 0% risk, but you can decrease it. And some environments can be really tough as well. The jungle, for example, in my home country, is a tough place to work. It's always raining, it's really humid, and there's a lot of mud. And I actually got my knee injured a couple of months ago. If you work in a desert area, it's dry, it's hot, so it's really prone to dehydration. And if you work in snowy places, you can get hypothermia. So it's always a good idea to go prepared, but it's definitely a dangerous job. But it's really nice. I think it's one of the biggest aspects I do enjoy, having this kind of adrenaline rush in my blood. So, but it's nice.
Okay. If you had any advice for new veterinarians who want to become a wildlife veterinarians, what would they be?
So I think this question fuses with the last one,
Yes.
and I think it's like a opportunity. As I said, at the first, when you finish vet school and as a fresh veterinarian from the oven, you will be a little bit scared and confused in wildlife medicine, because there's opportunities, but at first, obviously, they will give these opportunities to more experienced vets, to veterinarians that have a broader path on the area. But as I said, it's not getting scared, and just try to get as much as possible to get involved as much as possible during your, especially last years of university. You can get into a laboratory, you can get into an internship, you can get the memberships. For example, I do recommend getting the Wildlife Disease Association membership, because they give lots of opportunities to students to get involved in conferences where you can network with veterinarians, where you can get PhD, master opportunities, or internship opportunities. And they also have a web page where they post this, and you can apply. And it's just getting in touch with veterinarians, as you guys did. For example, you get in touch with me, and now you have networking. So now I know you, and in the case you're interested to have an opportunity in the future or something, just let me know, and I can network you. I think networking is really important in wildlife.
Yes,
I think in life in general, but wildlife especially. So you have, as much as possible, a big network. You can get opportunities. As I said, reading a lot of, staying informed, staying active, and being really proactive, it will help. And at the beginning, it's going to be hard. I don't want to lie, but if you're persistent, I don't want to be toxic positive as well. If you're persistent, you can get through it. It's really worth it, and I think it's a path to dedicate your life to. It's not the typical job where you get from 9 to 5 in an office. Yes. You get to go onto the field, get wet, get sunburn, but then you get to see the wildlife and contribute and work with communities, and it's really nice.
Yeah, this question was my favorite because I'm thinking of becoming a wildlife veterinarian too. That's why I wanted to ask this question.
No, absolutely. It's I think it's a great pathway. I think that's a great niche for you to get involved and start getting ideas out in the field. Start researching what species in Turkey will need help, and getting in touch with researchers from all over the world. And you can start leading the project. At the beginning, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I have some ideas to work in Costa Rica, and it's hard to get in, but now I'm seeing the results. What I had with this professor once told me, you will see the results if you persist and come with critical ideas, see the needs that animals on your country, on your local community need, specifically need, and work on that, and you can manage to do it. So it's a really nice area, and I think Turkey is a really big country with lots of wildlife.
Yes.
So you have the Mediterranean, so you have marine species as well. Yes. So it's definitely a place where I'm sure there's work to do.
Thank you for your answers and your attendance. These were all. Do you have any last words to summarize them?
And everybody that wants to get in touch with me and wants to have some advice, or even wants to work with wildlife and wants to join us on the field here in Brazil or wherever I work, is more than welcome. We will be more than happy to have them. And yeah, I'm more than happy to help anybody that wants to get in the field, and I'm really looking forward to collaborate with you guys in the future, hopefully in Turkey with some wild species there.